Hi, this is Milton Chang of Bonsai Heirloom. Today is the beginning of April. I would do a few Q&A responding to the many inquiries we are getting. Well, please subscribe to my channel. Write me when you listen to my video questions so I can respond, and hopefully I can make it a video, a weekly update to help people understand how to make bonsai. And today is about April 3rd, and you can see it's a beautiful day in California, Northern California. This tree I did about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, a trident maple that had no leaves on, and look at how much it's grown in about 4 weeks. This is the time that the trees grow a lot. You wouldn't want to clip it, just let it grow, make it get out of shape, that's fine. Because that's when it gains strength and thickens the trunk. And then this one, it's the cork pine. I transplanted, repotted about 2 weeks ago, and it's doing just fine. Very rigid, means it's absorbing water very nicely. So very nice. Let me go on. I love to see your clip and grow method. No wires and lots of patience. I really like you to take a young tree and describe how you cut it to become a style like your wonderful old trees. Do you ever carve trees? Well, first of all, I do emphasize I use clip and grow because that's my personal preferences. What I want to emphasize is don't take anybody's word, including mine, seriously, because everybody does things differently, have their own preferences. But rather, don't discard any tools or any methods, but apply them appropriately. The reason why I like clip and growth is that because I believe in keeping the natural way of the tree itself so that it will grow wild, following the nature's rule, and then I clip it to modify it rather than contrived by wiring it to pull it to someplace else. So for example, I would like to see a branch grow out very far and then pull it down just as if it's dragged down by its own weight. And that's much more closer to reality. So use whatever tools. Sometimes I also use wiring as a result to change something a little bit more angle than I can twist. I think the way to learn how to turn my trees into it, I will now, from time to time, start with some young trees all over again, in a sense of a nursery tree, and make it into a bonsai. And if you follow my video update, which could be quarterly or half a year, depending on the particular video, you will learn a lot from me. So please do follow my video and subscribe to our channel. And do I ever carve trees? Of course. I usually don't carve them. I tear them, break them just like nature does, and then do some final carving to make it look good before the display. Okay, the next question is that do you make gins? What kind of soil do you mix in your watering and fertilizing routine? I think I've done enough discussion about soil and mix. For example, repotting this tree and repotting some of the other trees. So please refer to my old video. I will do one later even more extensively on the whole thing. Soil mix, the chemistry of the soil mix, fertilizer, watering, and clipping, and so forth, one complete set. So please tune in. To give you a quick answer, is I generally use 1 part sandy loam, that's good drainage, 1 part peat moss, and 1 part perlite. And for Japanese maples, I will add a half part of vermiculite for more water retention. That's pretty much it. And then I'll use liquid fertilizer, the one that's highly recommended, and I found good result recently is the fish and kelp mix you can get at Amazon. Aside from that, Osmocote kind of a slow release is good, but don't over-fertilize and follow the instruction. What common mistake you think beginner makes and how to avoid them? Well, I think one of the common mistakes is to put it in a bonsai pot too quickly because it has so little soil that you're done exactly right to maintain its growth rate. So I recommend keeping the tree in a nursery pot that has a much deeper and a lot more soil and takes up equal amount of space, and that tree grows a lot faster. How one can make mistake, the list can go on, but that'll be a quick one that comes to mind. And then he thanked us for being the good work and the sharing, our open sharing of knowledge. I'm really happy to share my knowledge because I want to promote bonsai. It's my hobby, it benefited me, and I think it's a great community builder. What inspired to begin collecting and working on bonsai? Well, as I said, when I was a little boy, about maybe 12 years old, my father and I picked up a piece of coral rock and we make a hole in it, and we planted a little elm tree in it, and I took care of it, and that really is my link to my father. And so that's my connection. And then when I was starting my business, it got really stressful, and I worked probably 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. So during my break, I would do bonsai. It's extremely relaxing. It's almost like meditation. So I urge you to think of it that way. And for example, you can look at watering as a chore, but you can look at watering as a very nurturing act, very relaxing. And I do that sometimes once or twice a day. You never overwater the plant. So that's also your tip on watering. What is my best inspiration, biggest inspiration? Well, John Naka is considered the father of American bonsai. He's my inspiration. He's a true gentleman, Japanese, born in America, grew up in Japan, came back, and anybody loves bonsai is his friend. No racial boundaries, anybody. And he's openly sharing what he knows, and I like to emulate as much as his personality. And what's the best collection garden you've seen? I've been to almost good garden bonsai display in every country. Japan certainly has a lot of collection. Everywhere you go, used to be you can even go to the roof garden in the department store in Tokyo. I also joined a tour visiting China in terms of the bonsai exhibit. That is excellent. The trees tend to be much bigger, much more free-flowing, creative. Quite amazing. They're coming up fast, and they're willing to spend money importing good material from Japan and so forth. England, Europe. In America, I recommend you go to visit the National Bonsai Museum in Washington, D.C. It's free. It probably has the best collection, in the world. I'm proud to be actually one of the directors of the National Bonsai Foundation, which oversees the National Bonsai Museum. So be sure to visit that. It's really well worth your effort. And what's my most favorite type of tree? I think when it's all said and done, I mean, everything I like, because I'm not terribly adventuresome in trying new material. Untried material are good, but generally I found the established, well-received material, they're proven to be good material. And so if I name one, of course, pine and elm. Elm is probably the easiest for most beginner, and it's the most rewarding as well. In the Asian culture, the three revered material is called three gentlemen, which is the pine, Prunus mume, which is the flowering apricot, and the bamboo. Those are the three most reverenced material. Styling the tree is hard part for me. Well, first of all, it shouldn't be hard, because whatever you do is your style. It's you did it the way you see it, so it's by definition right for you. Just say be bold, do what you like, but keep after it, because as you mature, your view of the bonsai changes, and you improve on the tree you have. Be willing to make drastic cuts. If you don't make drastic cuts, your tree will always look conventional or mediocre. But if you keep after it, begin with a vision of what you want the tree to be, the size, rough look, and then go after it, you eventually will get a very nice tree. So how do I judge a tree? I think there are several components people judge a tree. One is size, age, style, and people also pay a lot of attention to how well it's maintained. So a lot of foliage not covering the design is also important for people to appreciate your tree. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. The struggle with apex styling on conifers and needles, it's actually very simple. If you look at most conifers, aside from pine, they're mostly pyramidal, spruce or whatever. If you look at the tip, is really no more than a 1-year-old tree, right? Because that's how it grows. So just keep that in mind. Keep it simple, the apex. That is your apex. It's very much unlike deciduous trees, which is more of a canopy, which is really actually, when you think of it, follows the outline of a semi-sphere because how it reacts to the sun. How do you fill out the crown on a deciduous tree? Because the ramification, highly ramified maple trees look like a mess up there. The method to shape a deciduous tree is very simple. What you do is you shape it to roughly what you like and let it grow. Don't cut much during the summer months in the growing season because you want the tree to gain strength and gain the trunk size. And then once in a while, maybe 3 to 6 months, you prune it just like you're, like pruning your hedge to shape it, rough shaping. And then when the leaves are gone, you then go into cut drastically to thin it and to shape it and get rid of the excess ramification. And then you let it go again next year. And after 2 or 3 years, you have a nice tree. So you can start with a sapling. And I would say 2 years, you have a very decent shohin bonsai. And that people walk by will say, "Oh, that's nice." Can you share any tips on advising how to train a bonsai exclusively in pots? Because I have limited space. Well, like I said early on, don't put it in a shallow bonsai pot too quickly. A 1-gallon pot, a 5-gallon pot, you can cut off the top of the 5-gallon pot. There's plenty of soil for the tree to really grow fast. And that's how you would train your tree. This person wants me to do more developmental video, which I will do. In fact, what I would do is I would take the popular material like elm, pine, maple, and all that. I would start with some sapling, as well as some medium, middle-aged trees, and then a final tree as a group, maybe 5. And to show you the progress of these 5 trees every 3 to 6 months, because the old trees, when I repot it, reshape it, also there's a lot of room to learn the reshaping, restyling. Beautiful trees. I love bonsai. I'm new to bonsai and love to learn your techniques with nursery stock and understand your process from start to finish. So again, subscribe to our video. I would say if you watch our video for a couple months, you pretty much get all my technique. Frankly, I've done bonsai for 50 years. I would say first 30 years is wasted. I wasted a lot of time, trial and error, and killing trees. And so if you start now, 20, 30, 40 years from now, you'll be better than mine. You have better trees than I do now. So I encourage to keep going, okay? Thank you. To end this, I would say, please like our video. I do like to get brownie points and encouragement. And subscribe to our channel, because we will then notify you when we're a new video. So I look forward to seeing you again. Or you look forward to seeing me again. Thank you.